Alright, so if you checked and seen the last video, like part 1 for the cyberstalking version, you probably freaking noticed that it's like a literal live overview kind of thing, but it's like the recorded, like I had to literally screen record it from my freaking live center to like get the video because it kept like glitching while I was saving it, and it was like extremely choppy, and then it went from like 45 minutes to freaking like 4 hours, and it was just freaking super crazy. So after like literally attempting to download it from the app and then the website also, I was like, alright, there's only one solution left. We're gonna have to literally just screen record this and then post it. That way the video is able to be uploaded, and you guys can like still get the update of the first portion of that video, because again, it was the initial session to be shown on TikTok live, and then for the rest of it to be, of course, transferred over to YouTube so you guys can view it there also. And I was like, well, our live viewers got to check it out, but what about our YouTubers? Will you guys be able to check it out? So it's like, alright, if we do the screen recording side, it may be like a bit of a like video breakdown shift, but you guys will still get to have the part 1 of the video and get to kind of gain the basis on that topic. Alright, so I'm going to pick up a tad bit where we left off in the first part of the cyberstalking portion. So, alright you guys, battle mode, let's get this started. Alright, so practicing a good digital hygiene. In order to protect yourself from cyberstalking, it's important to practice good digital hygiene. What this means is that you are aware of the digital footprints you're creating online, and you're taking steps to protect your accounts and your identity. Here are some things you should be doing on a regular basis. Take advantage of security settings. Go through each of your online accounts, especially your social media accounts, and ensure that you are using the strongest privacy settings. Oh, and then the added notion, strongest privacy settings as possible. You can even establish settings where people cannot tag you or post pictures of you without your approval first. And this is going to help a lot with not having your images or content shared everywhere without your approval. There's that added aspect of you approving that notion of it being shown as you featured in that portion, and then it'll also flag it so you can check the content and then have it removed and reported if it's something that you wish to not be shown. Create generic screen names. Rather than using your full name online, consider developing a gender-neutral screen name or a pseudonym. By doing so, you are making it harder for people to find you online. You also should leave the optional section like your date of birth or your hometown blank. So in case you don't want to add in that info and have that kept, it's more so something like private as towards like your identity, something that may pertain towards, you know, security questions that you've listed on site. If you've been a victim of cyberstalking and aspects before, thanks so much to you guys for tuning in on our live. I love you guys so much. I literally like jumped into the midst of the topic and literally didn't even get a chance to like, you know, send some love your way. I love you guys so much, and thank you for tuning in. So in helping to keep those aspects, you know, hidden and out of reach from potential cyber stalkers and people wishing to kind of go for your personal info, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're limiting the amount of information that others can gain from your accounts. Keep locations secure. Consider disabling the geolocation settings in your photos. You also should refrain from posting your location in real time and instead post photos showing where you have been after the fact. So this is something that is a very, let's see, crucial aspect to be mindful of. When sharing your location, you don't want any potential stalkers to know where you are at any given time. So in sharing your location, try to share your location after. That way you aren't really leaving that aspect up to kind of fade for others, and more so you work towards protecting yourself and ensuring that potential stalkers aren't able to find you. It's just one of those aspects that you should work to incorporate within, again, your digital hygiene practices. Oh, thanks for sending some love over in the follows. Love you guys so much. Be careful with online dating sites. Refrain from using your full name on online dating sites. You also should avoid giving out personal information like your last name, address, email, and telephone number until you've met the other individual in person and establish a level of trust. Personally, for the first name aspect, I really don't like chatting with people online due to like the aspects of people that are kind of super sketchy. So I don't like the chatting online with like people that you don't know, and then like the conversations kind of like get a tad bit too out of control, or they're like or you get to like the planning phase with them where you're like setting a meeting to like come to or should I say to you're setting a meeting in motion to actually meet the other person, and you kind of know nothing of each other. You don't know their like name. The only thing that you have to like really identify them by is like a literal alias. It sounds like a sketchy freaking like red flag. Like when you meet someone and it's like when you're working to get to know them, that's something that you should like cherish during the moments. Shouldn't be like getting to know like their name. Like I feel like that's just like a weird aspect. That's something that's typically handled during like the initial meeting portion. It's not like a part of the getting to know each other like real like the getting to know each other like relationship flow. I just feel like that's just super weird. Like it's not something that you typically have like I love getting to know like my potential partner's favorite like colors. It's like something that we all kind of share with like learning to get to know aspects of each other. Your favorite foods, your favorite colors, your hobbies, aspects that are more geared towards you as an individual. And with the waiting to get to know like your potential significant other's actual name, it's just I don't know. I feel like that's like a bit too like out of the norm overall. Let's see, performing a social media audit. It's always a good idea to go through your social media account and remove photos or posts that provide too much information about you or that create an image you don't want out there. Keep in mind too that even if you have blocked someone on social media, they may be able to still see your account by using another person's account or by creating a fake profile. So be mindful that even though you've like deleted, like say you've deleted an account and you're like, all of the accounts that like tagged you in a post, can no longer have a link to that account. The post will still be present. The tags that are not like literal like profile tags will still be visible. So it will still show your name, it will still show your image, and it's something that will have to kind of be monitored as you kind of keep everything up to par while doing your audit sessions and making sure that everything pertaining towards your overall self is kind of kept within check. How to cope with cyberstalking. Back to a particular person, but there are still things you can do to increase your safety and combat what you're experiencing. Here's everything you'll need to know about dealing with cyberstalking. Set up roadblocks. The first step to addressing the cyberstalking you're experiencing is to do what you can to put an end to the interactions with the person cyberstalking you. While they may still find other ways to reach you, you can at least make it harder for them to contact you. Try to set up these roadblocks to cyberstalking. Tell the person to stop. Respond only once the person's cyberstalking you, and tell them to stop contacting you. You don't need to say anything specific or explain your answer. Just ask them to never contact you again. And if it escalates beyond that, you can report them, you can block them, and actually, those are a few of the steps mentioned within the next few portions, so one sec. You can block the person. Make sure you block the person cyberstalking you from all your accounts. You should block them on social media and on your smartphone. Refuse to respond to any contact. If the person cyberstalking continues to find ways to contact you, do not respond to anything they post or send you. So if they're kind of stalking you and making you feel uncomfortable, and they're sending you a bunch of, let's say, posts, odd messages, pictures, videos, or anything that's kind of throwing you off, refusing to respond to it is something that's an essential step to protect you from that uncomfortable situation. And again, as stated, report and send it over to our teams to review the account and to prevent it from happening to others. For a lot of people that create spam accounts where they literally are cyber stalking people and harassing them, you won't be the only person that is going through it. There are others that will also typically be going through the exact same thing, unless somebody creates the account to cyber stalk you personally. Typically be going through the exact same thing unless somebody creates the account to cyber stalk you personally. And in those situations, it's still crucial because you won't know what's causing either of those situations to take place or what situation you may be involved within. It's best to still report the account and to protect yourself and others from going through the same thing later in the future, and to show the cyberstalker that the situation has a remedy. So always be mindful of that aspect and many others. Changing your email address and screen names. Consider getting a new email address and changing your online screen names to make it harder for the person cyberstalking you to reach you. Increase security. It's important to remember that people engaged in cyberstalking are already crossing a number of personal boundaries in order to make contact with you. For this reason, you need to do everything you can to increase your safety. You also should prepare yourself for the possibility that their online harassment could escalate to in-person stalking. So making sure you're also taking steps to keep yourself safe at home, school, and work. It may help to create a safety plan overall. Here are some other things you can do to ensure your safety and protection from potential cyber stalking situations. Changing your passwords. Even if your accounts have not been breached, you should change all of your passwords and continue to change them on a regular basis, and always keep them documented. That way you can, find your updated new password and keep most of your I tend to try to keep mine all within sync, so that way when I do the next set of password updates, all of them can still fall within the same parameters, so that way there aren't some that are that password has been used before, and then the other accounts are this is a new password, so this is going to be our new sync set for most of them. And at times it's happened where I've literally had to update a password for one account, and then for the others they're still on the old updated side, and it's While doing so, it still helps to set that basis for passwords that can be potentially used within that sync flow overall. But having, let's say, for my Samsung users, having apps such as Samsung Pass is an extremely freaking helpful app for remembering your passwords. That way you can recover your passwords and have them saved. So when you do have to do a new password update, it's saved to your phone, so that way you can access the information later and feel secure in updating your passwords. As well as having that Google protection added on the Chrome browser, where you can save your accounts to your Google, you can save your passwords to your Google account and then view them later and then access the information. That way, again, you can feel secure and updating your passwords and having the information available when you need it. Let's see. Consider suspending online accounts. If you are able, you should consider suspending your social media accounts, or at least taking a break from them for a while. If you are not active online, it's harder for the person cyberstalking you to reach you. So if you are going through any type of like weird like cyberstalking set of events where they're like kind of like cyberstalking you on multiple accounts, or they're like literally just like, constantly like trying to like cyberstalk you on a very specific account, it may be best to like take like a brief break from social media, and if not, to ensure that you're staying on top of reporting that account and refraining from continuing, conversations with that account. That way you protect yourself and ensure your safety overall. And in reporting the account are new like methods that our teams are working to implement, ensure that future accounts made by, let's see, certain devices, certain accounts or so, can be limited, so that way you don't have to literally feel as though that same person will be able to cyberstalk you in the future. So be mindful of a lot of those aspects and stay on top of reporting the accounts. That way you and others are kept safe and secure from cyberstalking, bullying, and harassment. Get your devices checked. Before you use your devices again, you should have them checked out by a professional to ensure the person harassing you did not install tracking devices or hack your computer in some way. And in doing so, this just helps to prevent any, potential spyware situations from taking place, and ensure that you have that safety and security while interacting online. Helps with that peace of mind while going through your daily actions, to know that you're protected while using social media and while being online. Taking action. If you have asked the person cyberstalking you to stop and their behavior continues, it's important to take action against them. This includes contacting the appropriate authorities and collecting evidence of their actions. You also may want to consider talking with an attorney. Here are the key points that will need to be addressed when taking action. Your local law enforcement can let you know if there's anything else you can do in order to stay safe. Save evidence of everything. Even though you feel like destroying everything, it's important to keep copies of everything the person cyberstalking you has sent you. So that way, while going through the process of reviewing any type of aspect, such as, evidence pertaining towards the actions taken, information shared, information gained, threats, and so much more. It's all covered within the basis of evidence that is on hand. Make a copy for yourself and a copy for law enforcement, so that way you have the copy to look over, to have that base of evidence, and the copy to hand over to law enforcement, so that way your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and the evidence is provided, and you have your own copies also, so you're not will I get my copies back so I can like literally have my own copies to stay mindful of what has taken place? And you know, it will help you. It's like, you know, they're contacting you and it's like, you know, what about this aspect that happened on this day and at this time and that, you know, what's included in this? And then do you even remember what happened in this? And it's like, yes, I still have all the evidence on my like end. And I am working with you guys to find a solution for this case. And in doing so, again, it just helps with dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and making sure that each major team has the information needed as the situation is handled. Notify your local police. It's important to notify the police and file an official complaint if you're being cyberstalked. Even if they cannot do anything right away, having an official complaint on file is important if the behavior persists or escalates. So having that situation covered and noted with law enforcement will help in preventing it from escalating in the future. So having that basis of coverage sets that overall point of having it, as a major point in which is noted. So in case there are any further actions, it was set as that initial basis of this is how it started and this is the progression, how the situation is escalated, and this is the evidence that has been provided to cover all of the cases in which the situation has escalated and continued, to progress. Report them to the site or service they use. If the person cyberstalking you harassed you through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Gmail, or some other method, let the appropriate authorities know what you're experiencing. Many times these organizations take complaints of cyberstalking seriously and will address the matter. Okay, let's see. Okay, the final few sections. Cyberstalking laws. Even though there is not a specific federal law against cyberstalking, there are laws that can be used to prosecute those who engage in cyberstalking. Cyberstalking is a serious crime and it can result in serious consequences for those who engage in it. Anti-stalking laws. For instance, a federal law against stalking is often used in these cases. This law states that anyone who uses electronic communications technology to engage in conduct that causes a person reasonable fear of death or serious bodily injury, or causes attempt to cause or would be reasonably expected to cause subsequent emotional distress to a person, could face imprisonment. Anti-fraud and abuse laws. There are other federal laws that could be applied to cyberstalking cases as well. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act could be used to charge someone if the target has been secretly recorded using their own computer, or in situations where the perpetrator gained access to sexual photos or videos through unauthorized access to the target's computer. Anti-extortion laws. Likewise, a person may be charged with extortion if they publish or threaten to publish private photos or videos of another person with the intention of forcing them to do something they don't want to do. Especially if they communicated through interstate commerce channels like phones, computers, or the internet. Anti-telecommunication harassment laws. There are also the statute that indicates that it's a crime to use a telephone, the internet, or any other telecommunications device to annoy, abuse, harass, or threaten another person. Oh my gosh, 1 second. Meanwhile, anyone who engages in caller ID spoofing, meaning they disguise the number that appears on the target's caller ID, could be charged with the crime also. So that one is a major one. So don't, like, start 69 and stalk people. Don't freaking create, like, spoof numbers and then cyber stalk people and freaking harass them. There are laws to protect people from those aspects. So be mindful while attempting to do anything that is, like, stupid and out of the ordinary, that it is not something that would fall within the category of, no one's thought of it yet anymore. It's like, it's been thought of, it's been, addressed, and these are aspects that we're working to minimize to ensure the safety and security of everyone from situations as such that have taken place within the past that continue and have had the potential aspects to ruin the lives of many, to literally, hinder people throughout life, cause them to need, assistance and aspects such as, psychological guidance and so much more. So always be mindful of those aspects. State laws may also apply. As for state laws, those vary from state to state. If you are curious about your state's cyberstalking laws, contact your local police department. They should be able to tell you what laws your state has to address cyberstalking. Keep in mind, if you are concerned about cyberstalking, there are some actions you can take. Good digital security practices can help. Keeping your accounts private, auditing your social media connections, and blocking people when necessary. If someone is cyberstalking you, document the behavior, contact local authorities, and report them to the sites where they have been harassing you. So that way the teams can go and check out the accounts and stop the harassment from happening to not only you, but to others also. Alright, you guys, thanks so much for tuning on and for being super awesome as always. Okay, wait 1 second. Literally, finding like a safe spot for it while I conclude this. But thanks so much for tuning in and for being extremely awesome. Thanks for following up on part 1 to check out part 2 also, and to find all the great aspects that we found to literally like cover cyber stalking and the parameters of the updates and cyber stalking protectorates, current freaking aspects to prevent it from happening, and so many other like majorly cool aspects pertaining towards prevention, good social hygiene practices, and so much more. And now, you guys, as I stated in the last one, ensure that if you need any guidance or assistance with monitoring any aspects, say you've been a victim of cyber stalking or internet's, I would say identity theft, and you need security, you need assistance with securing your identity online, you can go check out our amazing resources that we have on the DKH Legal Aid site. Check out our ID Life, I believe it's our ID Life plan. Our ID Life plan, and our team will be able to help you with monitoring your information online and on the dark web, and to ensure that you have that safety and security, that peace of mind again. To also ensure that you have all the necessary parameters needed to, keep you feeling safe while, being online. And in our modern day and age of the media and online presences, to also go check out all the other amazing resources that we offer, such as legal consultations, legal guidance, legal teams, representatives, and so much more. We have a bunch of amazing resources offered on the DKH Legal Aid site and on our Legal Shop site also. We have access to legal teams and security monitoring for your accounts and your information online. So go check out all of our amazing resources that we offer and so much more. And also go check out our cool new items that we've listed on these shop sites. Thanks so much for staying tuned, you guys, and for being awesome as always. And I will see you in the next one.